Okay, so now I've downloaded my presentation. I showed you that I was going to do that earlier. And I took the time to actually go through inside of PowerPoint. So here I am inside of PowerPoint. That's my tool of choice. Use whichever one that you want. It doesn't really matter. I took my PowerPoint presentation that I downloaded, or the slides presentation. I downloaded that, and now I'm inside of PowerPoint. And I went and I just simply just used the PowerPoint Designer. This is a really cool thing. You come over here into Designer. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but you can design all kinds of good looking slides any kind of way that you want. It gives you something new and different to consider all the time, which is pretty cool, right? So I went and I narrowed it down. I went through, I looked at all the different slides that were here. I made some different, I removed some of the slides. I maybe added a couple pieces of content. It really gave me like a lot of great ideas. I think I took away like four of the slides. I think at this point now I have 16 out of the original 19 slides that were there, but I added a couple as well too. So I took away, four or five different slides that I didn't think that were necessary. But I added a couple more that I did think that was necessary. So it really gave me a huge head start based off of what I wanted to actually show you guys for this particular presentation. So now that this is done, my next step is to actually like load this back into my Google Slides environment. So here I am inside of the Google Slides environment now. This was the original one. I'm going to now just upload this to my Google Slides area, the new presentation that I've changed at this point. So I'll browse for this particular file. Um, Give me a second here. I'll browse for this particular file. There it is right there. Okay, so I'll upload my changes here. And once this goes up into my Google Slides area, there's a couple of last things that we need to do. You need to actually share this project, okay? So, and the way that you're going to share it is you're going to share it to make sure that anyone with the link has access to see it as a viewer. This is going to allow the Smithers AI code to actually be able to look at it at this point, even though it's inside of your presentation, even though it's inside of your Google Slides area, it doesn't actually give it permission to go back in and read the material that is there now. So that's what needs to happen. First and foremost, you need to go back into Google Slides, you need to click the share button, and once you've done that, you're all set. Now, this is a second version of this, so I will probably want to get rid of this other one just so that I don't lose track. So what I'll do is I will actually remove this particular one here. I'll just move it to trash. It doesn't delete it immediately, but it's inside of the trash. So now I'm going to go back over to Smithers. Remember, I called it something else in Smithers. So I want to copy out this title that I had over here. So I'll go ahead and I'll copy this title out because I like this title better than what I picked the original time. So I'll come back over here and I called it this originally. So I'll come back over here and I'll name this exactly the same thing that it was over there. Be everywhere, teach everything. And so now that I've got that, I'll update that particular piece. I'll come back into the setup of the template, and you can see here that it's pointing to this particular slide directory. So that's great. That's exactly what I want. I'll click on update for that. And now the slide is actually the pitch, the slide deck is actually now being updated. Now that I've gotten that, oh, and by the way, I could have changed the title over in this particular area as well too. You can have this generate a new title for you. So I can just do this and it will actually generate a different title. I can have it generate all kinds of titles. What happens there is actually reading the content of the slide presentation, and then it's basically making up a new title for you. I'm going to keep the one that I had before. You can also do that exact same thing for the description as well. We'll keep the description that I have for now just because I want to, make sure that it's one that I like for the moment. I can always change that later on if I like as well too. The one cool thing is that for your registration page, so that's what we're going to talk about now. We're going to talk about what you get out of the box as far as like a registration page. We actually have a registration page already done. You can put a video presentation along with that as well that will, guide people when they see it to, there was a video there, and I'll show you where that placeholder would be, but I don't have a video for this one just yet. But nevertheless, you can actually do that as well too. So now that you've gotten all of that together, you can copy the URL for the webinar. The problem is, in order to actually get to the registration link, in order for people to be able to register for your webinars, you have to have an active account and you have to activate the webinar campaign before you can do that. Okay, so that means you have to have a credit card on file and you have to also activate your campaign. So I'm going to click on OK to this. I'll update it because I did make a couple of changes here. And now that I've done that, I'm going to click this activate button over here, which will activate the campaign. This doesn't charge you anything up front. It just makes sure that you actually have a credit card on file, because once you give people the actual link to register, it's live, you're ready to rock and roll, and we want to make sure that you at least have an active account in order to be able to do that. So now that I've got this campaign active, now that it's active, I can actually go back in and I can see the registration link. I can copy that, open up a new browser, and I will actually showcase how the registration page will look like now. So be everywhere, teaching everything. Above this, if you had that video, would be the actual video. The link to the video would actually showcase a video here. It actually tells you when it's going to be going again. It's going to be going in another 8 hours from now. Gives you like a what you will learn section, and it also allows for your people to register for this event as well too. So they click on the register button, they put in their name, and they put in their email, their phone number, and of course the session that they want to go to. Remember, I set this up to go every day between the hours of 7:30, 1:30, and 6:30 p.m. every day for this to be run. So users would pick one of those particular times to attend this webinar, and once they do that, they're going to get an email and an SMS notification saying that they are registered, and they will also get a calendar invite as well. So now that that's done, you can also view your webinar just to make sure that it sounds and acts and feels and looks the way that you are looking for it to go. So you can click on this view webinar link here, view the demo, and now you're actually inside of the same demo that you're actually running right now. It's in demo mode. So the great thing about it being in demo mode is that you can share this as demo mode to other people. And you also get to go through slide by slide, backwards and forwards into this, unlike your actual attendees. They won't have that opportunity. But in demo mode, which you can give other people a demo link as well, and so they don't have to register for it, but you still know all their contact information, and you can tell what they were responding to and did they watch it and things like that. And then when you share it, you'll also be able to you'll be able to see what comments and questions that they may have as they're going through the presentation material as well. So just like how you did, you had to okay that your audio would be being used, and just like how you did when you go to ask a question, you'll be saying that, hey, I want to allow for my microphone to be turned on. All the things that you're normally looking at, the chat sections they can participate in demo mode. And you can also ask questions and, of course, see the resources section as well, too. So that gives you a really good idea as to how to get this whole thing started. It's pretty simple. Once you create the presentation, that's probably the hardest part, just designing it the way that you want, making sure that it says the things that you want. That might take, anywhere between 30 minutes to a few hours, depending on exactly how much material that you need. But it's not days, it's not weeks, it's not months of trying to plan, trying to figure out what you want to say, doing a bunch of research. We literally give you a ton of information if you don't know what you want to say. But if you already have a presentation, you're just going to upload it to your Google Slides area, make sure that it's got the script inside of the notes area, and you're all set. Okay.